Hey, good afternoon, good afternoon. Hi, everybody. This is Spirit Journey. How you all doing? Hope bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. Yes, today is July 2, 2022, and the time is 1:34 a.m. I want to talk about a controversial topic. I want to talk about the 4th of July. Yes, I want to talk about it. I just was finished watching a live stream from someone, and I'm not going to give the name of the YouTuber, but I'm a little offended twice. Um, I'm hurt right now, a little hurt. Um, but it's like the same old. Um, but this YouTuber, I respect their work. Like I said right up front, I respect their work. I respect the work that they do for the community, the black community. Yes, good morning, viewer. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I'm sorry. Good afternoon. I hope you're doing okay. Yeah, it's like, wow. Yeah, I'm a little hurt right now. What am I hurt about? Well, two little things. The first one is more. The first thing is more of my pride. But the second one, I thought, wow, I'm not allowed to have my opinion. Um, yeah, I came in late to this person's live stream, and they were just talking about traveling with their dogs overseas. And that's what I want to get information on doing. So I had typed it in, that I have, what I have here, the pets that I have. And I did do it in caps. And I did it in caps so that it could be seen, because I was trying to get information on how to do this. I've never traveled with my dogs outside of New York. And so I was just very eager to get information if if she would still be willing to talk about it. So when I came on the live stream, she was just finishing talking about her dog and travel. So it could have been that she didn't want to address the issue anymore about traveling with her dog. Um, or it could have been that I did it in caps. So I don't know. Because she was going down the list of, down the list of the chat room. And mine was up there for a while until until she finally got to my post. And she skipped it and she did the person above mine and the person after mine. And I was like, wow, I was a little embarrassed. And so maybe because I did it in print, because I was told before by someone that when you type in caps, it's considered that you're screaming and it's rude. But I can't see, small print. And yes, I did want it to be seen. Maybe someone else might see it and be able to come and give me information or something. Yeah, I'm not going to travel anywhere without my little babies. So if anybody knows how to go about it, I mean, I did find, I do know of a veterinarian who handles, what do you call it, what do you call it, um, forget the name, I'll get the name here. I have my, oops, wrong one. Yes, the people who handle animals and foods, importing, exporting them. Yeah, it'll come to my USDA. That's a USDA, United States Department of Agriculture. And they do have a website, and I was trying to go through it about traveling with your pets. So, yeah, it's very difficult, because you have to coordinate everything, like you might find an airline, but if it's not a direct flight, you're at the mercy of the other airline and they may not be in collaboration with the first flight, the first trip, and you have a layover. So I can't go anywhere without my babies. They're my kids. So I'm kind of edgy, and yeah, a little nervous, a little scared. Travel. I haven't been anywhere outside of New York for since 2005, and it's 2022 now. So it's been a while. What's that, 17 years? That's a long while, and things change. So that was the first thing that kind of ruffled my feathers. I feel like, wow, you did the one right above mine and the one right below. So I thought to myself, okay, swallow your pride, and next time, if you want to write something, put it in small letters like everybody else's. So I did that. And they were talking about, at this time of the live stream, um, they were talking about the 4th of July coming up. Today's July 2, and in 2 more days, it's going to be the 4th of July in America. And the sentiment, again, I understand their sentiment, and I used to feel the same way about being a black person and live in America and the 4th of July. I've been there, done that. But it's okay to have, this is the meat of what I want to talk about now, the 4th of July, how can I, so I wrote something, a comment about the 4th of July. And in essence, what I said was, how to go, I understand the sentiment about the 4th. I said, but I do wear my red, white, and blue, and something else. And this YouTuber was to go cover what I said, like some of the live stream, you could they press on something and then they share with the what do you call it, the chat room, on the center of the screen, so everybody could, to showcase a statement, So it was my post to be shared. And she put in for 1 second and she pulls away. I said, oh shoot. See, she thought that, she thought I was going to say something nasty. This is very important, okay? And it's more than about my feelings. But I want to explain the whole, I want to explain what the 4th of July means to me. So I know that is controversial. I'm angry right now. And then I was going to I put in a comment. I said, oh, you overlooked mine and you pull it away. Oh, we're not, I was going to say, why you do that, If it's a discussion, then let's have a discussion. You don't have to love me, and I wasn't trying to be controversial, but yeah, I wore my red, white, and blue before. I think it was in 2019. I wore a cute little outfit. Yeah, I kind of gained weight, so I can't wear that little outfit. But it was a cute little white cotton skirt. It was a real short one. What's the top? Maybe maybe it was a red top and something accented on my head. I forget the color, but I know that the skirt was white. And what else? I might have had my little flag pin. It was the first time I think it was the first time I ever did. Oh, I had my nails done too. Yeah, I thought it was really cute, Yeah, this could have been 2019, 2018, 2019. And it was the first time I ever did that before. Now, let me just tell you growing up how I felt. And I think how I felt was like most Black Americans at one point, and it seemed like Thanksgiving too. But I always grew up feeling like I wasn't good enough. I'm not really an American. Um, Everybody else is better than me, because of the race issue, and I'm not a true American because I'm not white, in a nutshell. And but I look around, but I live in New York City. I live in the Big Apple, where you have virtually, I think, almost every nationality here imaginable. And everybody else, yeah, oh yeah, the other thing. And everybody else here, they have their parades of their cultural heritage. And some of them even put it in your face if you're a Black American. It's like if you're a Black American, you're not supposed to like yourself, or you're not supposed to love the country you live in. And yeah, that's the second part of that thing I said. Yeah, I said, yes, I wear my red, white, and blue. And I think I said, you have even people from Africa that come to America by the droves. In New York City, a lot of Africans, new Africans. And they don't seem to have any problem when it's 4th of July. Okay? Uh-oh, yes, so some people are not gonna like it. Yeah, some people are already leaving. But see, that's good, see, if we don't talk about it, see, a lot of us, a lot of us from the Black community, see, we like to make people think that we're really more Black than we really are. But the proof is in the pudding when there's a real fight and a real battle. And so I may turn off some people from the community by maybe my speech pattern, or maybe I'm not as dark as other, or maybe my hair's texture a little different. But so what? So what? My life experience is enough of the battle here in America. The battle of feeling like, okay, you're supposed to be an American, and then you have people who, try to shame you, shame your history, and it's like, wait a minute, I have just the right to love my country, or love that I'm here. The fact that I'm breathing the air here, oh, you all left, I have the right to breathe the air here like everybody else. I have a right to assert myself like everybody else does. You have people from all over the West Indies, the Caribbean slash Antilles, Latin America. All of those places suffered from slavery, and they come to America in droves, right? And it's okay for them to have their flag, and yet their country suffered from stuff. Why can I embrace this country? There's no perfect country. There's never a perfect place. Wow, it's all of a sudden getting really hot here. But yeah, see, I've never been the popular one, and I'm okay with that. And even the Bible talks about, about being careful when everybody so-called loves you, or says that they like you. Be careful, because your enemy is close by. Or people who stay away, at least they're honest and they stay away from you. You know how to feel. So how I feel about, growing up, yeah, I always felt like an outsider, but I always wanted to feel like I know I could do it. I like those people, those white people on TV. I know I'm just as good as those people. And coming from a background, I was always aware of racial diversity background, and so that was always I was always aware of that, and I think that awareness made me feel, hey, I'm just as good as those white people. You know, I mean, I said it verbally, but you know, you're thinking it, and you see the disparities between blacks and whites in America, and then you tend to see if the people aren't as darker, they tend to do a little better financially, or at least they smile a little bit more, you know? But you see it, you feel the difference. And so we would have these holidays, you know, it would be televised on television, some parades and things like that. And, but at the back you feel kind of sad, you know, that it's not really for you. But you know, I think things started to change for me, how I felt inside about my being an American, was when Trump came on board. Yes, I was a Trump supporter in 2016. I was afraid to even think that I wanted to watch anything on him on television. Now, Trump is a native New Yorker, native-born New Yorker, and he's born not far from where I lived. Yeah, he's from Queens, New York, and I am from Queens, New York, and his home is not all that, maybe a mile and a half from where I live. You know, of course I didn't know him, and of course I wouldn't be in his circle, but he is a native New Yorker. And very few native New Yorkers here. Very few. I know very few New Yorkers. As I got older, less and less people from New York. And most people that were in my circle were foreigners. So I was comfortable with an international feel. And then working in the city, when I say the city, I mean Manhattan, even more people from other countries. And they would talk about their culture or their island and this and that, and I always felt like they're trying to make me feel bad, like they're better than me. But yet they're in this country, you know? Don't you ever wonder that people talk about their country, this and that, but yet they're right here in America? Don't you ever wonder why they trying to tell you, why are they trying to make you feel bad? There's nothing, see, a person who's really proud of themselves shares their culture with people. They don't use it as a weapon. So shame on those people who do that. You don't try to shove things and humiliate somebody and say, well, I'm this, but you're not. That's very rude. And I don't care what somebody is. Don't, it's not, because see, one day you might be in a position where you're not being asserted and people are going to walk all over you. Yeah. So I felt like, it's not a nice feeling. But when Trump came on board, I was encouraged to watch him on not television, on the computer from a young child. He was a teenager at the time. He was a young black teenage guy. He was about 15 or 16 years of age, and he spoke very eloquently and very confident. He was just very nice. And I think he was the only black person there. He was surrounded by other whites, very, very conservative whites, other young people that was with him. And I was impressed how eloquent he spoke. So I felt encouraged. I said, hey, let me check out this man named Trump. We all, if you're a New Yorker, you've all heard of Trump, What you see is what you get. That's how I see him. He is who he is. Okay? So I started watching his speeches. And I liked when he said, America first. I liked it. Because I live in a society in New York City where everybody else seems to have a right to talk about their country and their culture and their this and that, and I'm the bad American, you know, and and even though I'm a black person, and they talk about, you know, they also include me that I'm a bad American too. When you go overseas and they talk about Americans, they're also implying you too as a black person. Even in the West Indies, that's when it first happened to me. Yeah. So be careful about, you know, the, when you might go around as the black person who's just so happened to be America, and you say bad things about America, when you as a black American go overseas, and when they're saying bad things about Americans, they're including you in the bunch. And that happened to me in the U.S. Virgin Islands of St. Thomas. Yep. I was dumbfounded. Did they bother the white person that was there, that was sitting right next to me? Said nothing to him. He addressed it to me, and I was like, wow. I was shocked. I was shocked. So this is my experience. So now I'm the bad American, even though bad things happen to me in America. I've experienced a lot of racism, but my view of America was based on I'm just as good as those other people. And I have a right to be here, and I have a right to desire better things in life. That's how I felt. And so yes, I challenged myself and applied to companies that were really fancy looking, really this and that. I don't want to work for the city. I didn't want to work for the city. I wanted something better in life. I wanted something clean, something pretty, something beautiful, something I could be proud of. So, but you know, the private sector is really hard on blacks growing up. It was really, really tough. So, but again, going back with Trump, when I heard Trump talk about the country and that America first, and bring the jobs back to America. See, I work right here in the city, and I see who they're hiring. And I see that they're also letting go people. They're letting go of black America. The only thing that really saves black America in big cities like this are the civil service jobs. Because the civil service jobs, you have to take a test to get in, okay? And you're locked in there. And it's union controlled also. So you're protected by the union. That's why you don't have the illegal aliens working in the civil service jobs. At least I hope not. But you'll find the private sector jobs that they would let certain Americans go and bring in all these people from all these other nations. And then when they get a stronghold on in a domain at a company, they act like they own the company, and they will go out their way to make you, black America, feel like crap. And so these are things that I've experienced and things that I've seen. And so when Trump was saying, bring those jobs back to America, America first, I said yes. He was talking a language that I understood. Because I experienced, thank you for giving me the thumbs up there. I've got, see, that makes me feel good. It makes me feel heard. Yeah, they've never been popular. And you had all these people that came on, and soon when I started talking about, they flew away. But you know, I speak the truth, and that's why I have this channel, for me to express myself, to share my truth, share my experiences. And I know that my experiences is not the only one that experienced this. And so I speak up for those who are afraid to speak out like I am, you know. So, so what happened now? Yeah, so if you live in this type of environment and you see that you're not being respected. So I grew up in the city, like I said, and I'm surrounded by all these people from other nations. And I thought initially they're my friends. I had a party, everybody was invited. I thought we were one. But then I see that when you get in a job, and especially if you go into a job that is really catering to newer comers. I had gone in the food industry at one point in my life. And that's where a lot of newcomers go in. And, um, and that's when a lot of the fire started really chafing me, you know. Um, and you see different colors. You see people's, how they really feel about you. And I saw um, in different places that foreign-born people were being treated better and respected over American blacks. And for me, I am an American black female. And in some industries, to see an American black female, it's virtually not there. In the food industry. And the food industry historically has been a job where black women worked in the kitchen. But not now. You don't find American black women working in the kitchen. But I was in it. I had no idea that it was going to be like this. Oh, once I did meet one, my first company in the food industry. I mean, I know I'm kind of all over the place, but I'm building up an environment of why I feel the way I do. I did meet in my, I'm just remembering now, there was one American black woman who was at the company I was with, in the kitchen. I worked at a hotel restaurant. And not going to give the name or anything, but it was a four-star, what's it? It's a five-star hotel. I think they go five-star hotel, and I think a four-star restaurant in there. Yeah, it was a top-of-the-line place. And I was a student then, and I got a job in there as a student. You know, I went there. And I told them, you know, I'm really eager to work. I'm willing to work for free. And so we can't have you work for free. But, you know, so you know, I'll go hire her. And that's how it happened. And but this lady, we were probably about the same age, and she was a really, really heavy-set, lighter-skinned black woman. And she started to cry. She said she goes to the bathroom and cries because how they're treating her. And this is, you know, maybe it's stereotyping, maybe I'm stereotyping, but, you know, you don't really see a lot of us crying out there, you know, publicly. You know, we tended to have a stiffer upper lip. But she broke down and cried in front of me and said that she doesn't like how they're treating her, and she's upset. And she had fallen on the ground. She was pregnant. That's also why she was big. She was pregnant, and they found out that she had fallen, and the management, they're saying, "Dad, I'm there." I wasn't there when she fell, but I was in the room when they were talking about her, the management, that this woman fell on the ground, and the guy saying, "Oh, she probably fell on purpose," and yeah, I couldn't believe it. They don't care. They didn't care. Yeah. So very few of us are in these industries, especially those industries that pretty much left alone for new immigrants to go in there. If an American is there, they usually maybe a supervisor, you know, some type of managerial supervisory position, but entry level, you know, foreigners. But I'm not ashamed of that. I was new in the industry. I didn't know what to expect. I thought it was going to be a fun job. It's not. The cooking industry is really, really. It was not kind to me. It's not kind to Black Americans. It's not kind. But if you come from anywhere else, it seems to embrace you because they think in the back of their head, "Oh, you're the American. You're in my way, so I'm going to push you out." And yes, they do. They can. And so I remember that. I remember other things that happened to me in that field. So when I hear a person like Trump back in 2016, I said, yes, he spoke my language. And I start to wonder about other blacks. I said, where they live? Where do they live for them to act like how some of them act? And being so anti-Trump, they got too much into the race card. Sometimes I can get in the race card too, when it's applicable. But I start to wonder, where do most of us live? For them to think certain ways that he was their enemy. He wasn't your enemy. But see, you got too much into the race card, and you got blinded by what those foreigners, some foreigners do to you. Or maybe you just don't care because you're so mesmerized and you believe in the narratives the minority card. But not all minorities are treated the same, and some do extremely well here in America. And they may not even, many of them, they don't even hire you. The so-called minorities here, for American Black, very few are hired by these newcomers. You have people in Latin America, and they don't hire American Blacks. Why is that? You even have Black Latinos, and they don't hire Black Americans. Why is that? But you would hire them if you could. All they see is not equal. See, a lot of Black America are the first to speak out about injustices, but they never speak out for your behalf. They don't. And so Trump was speaking my language. And if you lost your job because of what you call guest workers, or mistreated, or set up for them to fire you, you say, wait a minute, you're being treated like a second-class citizen, like you're the alien? So yes, when Trump came on board, I was like, yes! It was joy to my soul. And I know a lot of blacks are on their poo-poo list. But that's okay. I've always been on your poo-poo list. But I'm glad that I stand my ground. And a lot of you are liars anyhow. A lot of you are liars. You go around and you make people think that you're all, I'm going there. Yeah, this might be a little rant. You'd be surprised who you see, who they're sleeping with. Yeah, let's go there. Let's go there. I know when I had gone to the West Indies to live, and I thought it would be a little black utopia. Well, it wasn't. And many of them do not like American blacks, even though there are not many American blacks in the U.S. Virgin Islands. It wasn't that many. But they're going to let you know how they feel. And there was an American black fellow and a white American woman. Oh, what happened? You have some people, like, they might wear their dreadlocks and ethnic clothing. But who are they sleeping with? You think that white woman that you're sleeping with is all into you? No, she's all into what she's into. And when that white female confided in me that when she thought she was pregnant with a black man's baby, she raced to the abortion clinic. She says, I can't deal with this. I can't afford to be pregnant with a black child. And she went to the abortion clinic, according to she, to get rid of it. But while she was waiting at the clinic, her period came. So maybe she had a, miscarriage, whatever. Her period came, and she said she was relieved. So a lot of the things that you think that they're all into you, No, they're into, some of them are into rebellion and just trying to shock people. It's really something. The things that they share with you, some white people. And, um, and it doesn't mean that they respect black people, it just means that who she is sleeping with. It's really something, my experience with the gym. Thank you for giving me another thumbs up. I need all the encouragement right now because I was feeling like poo poo when the YouTuber bypassed my statement about that I had in the past wore red, white, and blue. So yeah, not everybody that you think is all into you is into you. They're into what they can get for themselves. And when they're finished, they discard you. Um, so, so they want to the facade. They have all the all paraphernalia in their hair, the dreadlocks, and all the ethnic jewelry, but it's phony. A lot of them, phony. And yeah, they seem to be loved by everybody in the black community, be down, but there's nothing really truth about them. And so maybe I might look the way I look, but I'm real. I'm real. I don't need I'm just myself. And I'd rather be real and not have any friends than these people who want to make you think that they're all about the community, but look who they're sleeping with. And look what they're really doing in the community. So they're all mouth, but yet I'm action. And that's one thing that I credit myself, that I took action. I took action when I was in the military. Yes, I was in the military. I served proudly at the time, proudly in the United States Navy. And so I cherished that. It wasn't during wartime when I served, but I served. And I served proudly. And I wore my uniform proudly. And so a lot of these people who want to poo-poo on America, they're not veterans. Okay? So I could understand, the YouTuber not really embracing that, I did sport my red, white, and blue before. Yeah, because I'm a veteran. I have something vested here. I'm vested here. My father served in the military. And so you want me to just crawl on a rock and die and feel sorry for myself about poor me, the black American? So what? I don't like a lot of things that happens to black people in America, black Americans. I don't like some of the things that happens. I don't like the things of crime or injustices. But a lot of things that's happening in our community is inflicted by their very own. But we don't want to talk about that. But all the people wearing those fancy dreadlocks and the jewelry in their hair and all that, they're phony. And they're really not about justice. They're just all about talk. They want to look good, but they do not really. I don't take what they say with any real value. Very few are really genuine. Yeah, I spoke out when I was in the military. I saw injustices happening, and I spoke out. I spoke out because that's my nature. Even though back then I was I was very, very shy. I didn't really talk. But when I see injustices and disparities, I just felt like, hey, wait a minute. If I'm serving and I could potentially get, die, because you are in the military and things can happen when you're in the military, right? I spoke out. Yeah, this face spoke out. yeah, this person with this so-called funny accent spoke out. This person with this type of hair spoke out. I spoke out. But the people who should have spoken out, who's all down and all that, they never spoke out. I did. And I made changes happen in the military that benefited all of us, all black people. So I pat myself on the back. And the other thing I know I spoke out about. You know, you want people like me on my side, on your side, because I'm truthful. And if I see something wrong, I gotta know. I I have to speak out. I have to make it work. You know, it's not fair. I don't like when I see like someone who's claiming racism, and then you're gonna be racist against somebody else. I gotta speak out. See, and that's why a lot of blacks don't like me. That's why a lot of black Americans don't like me, because they expect me to um, join in on their corruption. There's a lot of corruption within our community. I love my community, and that's why I spoke out. You know, but it doesn't mean that I'm going to lie with you, you know. Don't lie about people. If you don't like them, that's fine. Just stay away from them. But don't do injustices to somebody else, and then you're gonna cry about. See, that's the essence of me. That regardless of what the race of the person is, I don't want injustices done upon them, because if you don't like it, why do it to somebody else? So, yes, I spoke out. And I spoke out in college too. And they hated my guts. They hated my guts. But I stand my ground. I stand my ground about it. You're going to talk about the racism, and then you discriminate. You do the same thing what they do to you. So, you know, it's even. You're even. You're even then. So either way, with the yeah. So all these things. Oh yeah, those particular girls in school, they put this toxin in this candy, and I got sick because they didn't like that I um, stood my ground to them. They're a bunch of witches. See, these are type of women. They want to wear, you know, they act all like that. They're in the in black crowd, but they're a bunch of lazy ass women. And there's no growth. You know, it's like the Obamas. They have a lot of, you know, appeal to many black people, but they accomplish nothing for the black community. Nothing. And even with them out of the government, do you hear them speak out? Do you hear them trying to do leadership in the, nothing? Because they're about themselves and other things. They're not true people. They're not true. They're really not true. And so I don't like phoniness like that. I don't. You know, I always felt I had to speak out. I've always been this way. Even when I was afraid and to talk, whatever, you know, I just felt when I see somebody lying about something, it's just in me. So, so coming from this type of background and experiences, and then when Trump comes along, he's addressing real issues that affect you and everybody else. No one wants to lose their job to people from outside. No one wants their job to be sent overseas, and that's what's happening. But the only thing that a lot of blacks see is, oh, well, yeah, bring as many minorities in. because you sold your colorblind to color. You're colorblind. See, it's blinding you, the minority label. And you think all the minorities have the same fate. No, they do not. No, they do not. And you're being put on the bottom of the list, and they know it, and they are trampling on your ability for success in a place like New York City. It's not for you. And they don't hire you. They don't want you. You go out there in New York City, who do you see? Who do you see begging on the street? Who? It's not those foreigners. It's you, Black America. That is who's on the street here in New York City. And we have a black governor. Oh, I'm sorry, a black mayor. Well, let me see who's the governor. Let me see here. The governor. Let's see. I'm not sure who's the governor. The governor of New York. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Oh, we gotta. Okay. Kathy Hochul. I thought. Okay. So I wonder who that black guy was. Let me see. Let's see here. Governor of New York. Oh, I guess. Okay. Let's see. Governor Hochul. Oh. Okay, Kathy Hochul. Okay. Oh. Okay. I thought someone else was in. So I don't know who that person. Maybe they were governor of some other place. I don't know. I know we have a black mayor. He's from Queens, not far from where I used to live. From South Jamaica, Queens. But yeah, what are they doing for you? There's no policy or anything to groom the black Americans who live in New York City. You are being overlooked. And they just use these black characters as a pacification to make you think that we're going to take care of you, but they're not. And they're taking care of those who have money and influence. These people are bought. They are bought by the system. And many of these black people in this that I pick up, many of these people are on the down low, what they call the DL. And so they do sexual favors for each other, and they only hire the people who are like them. So I don't know how that is going to help the black community when you're not about family and community. You don't set up a community with that type of lifestyle. That's death. That's a death cult that has, in my opinion, will have that type of lifestyle, because it doesn't. It's like taking a seed and never watering it. It's death. Nothing's going to grow out of that type of lifestyle. It's not a natural lifestyle. Again, it's their choice. But when you're on the down low and you're lying to your partner, that is what's bad about it. That is what is bad. Again, your preference is what your preference is. But when you lie to your partner and you deceive them, that is a problem. And it becomes a problem when you get diseases from that type of lifestyle, and you share those diseases with the people who you're with. That doesn't help our community. It taxes our community. So either way, so this is what happens. This is my experience, and so when Trump came along, he appealed to my senses, and I was feeling very, very vulnerable. And he made me feel positive for the first time and made me feel like I was an American too. Yes, he did. It was the first time ever. I didn't feel like the American when Obama was in. See, soon when you go into government, if you become a senator or congressman or governor or even a vice president or president, then you are taking on the history of that nation. And so if you really reject being an American, then you also reject having those jobs in government then, okay? But you have a lot of blacks who get into maybe local government, lower level, and some, as you see, who moved up the top. So if they could embrace a high executive job, then you are taking in um, the whole history of America, good or bad, in my opinion, good or bad. I mean, again, you said that Obama, Obama came in, so he is taking on the legacy as a leader, at that time, the leader of America, and so he is taking on its history, good or bad. And so I remember sporting for the first time, at least I purposely wearing red, white, and blue. I think it was 2018 or 2019, and I had fun with it. I had fun wearing the color. I had my nails done. I had the cute little shorts on. Yeah, I was having fun. Yeah, I I felt like I'm an American too. Yeah, go in New York City. You have all these parades, and everybody else from all these new migrants could wear their flag, but you are being taught, Black America, that you can't wear your flag. So you are shortchanging your sheets. You are shortchanging your sheets and not embracing the nation that you support. Maybe the nation does not support you, but you support it. And I feel, your hard work enough. And I feel you should be able to claim it as your nation because you support it and you built it. So you're going to walk around, feel like a second-class citizen, yet your ancestors toiled on the land and built a lot of the stuff here and made inventions that made the American collective prosper. This is one of the most wealthiest countries in the world. And you help bring it there. And then you're going to walk like you got a tail between your legs, feeling like a victim. But yet you victimize yourself. There's a lot of crime happening here. Senseless crime. And you guys do nothing about it. But, you don't like yourself. I heard in New York, it was a couple of hours ago, sometime yesterday, there was a cruise ship. The cruise ships that come all along the New York harbor. And there was a big fight. And they said that the Coast Guard was called. And I think an ambulance. Because a big fight happened aboard a cruise ship. The day trips, not those big, cruise ships, but we have those local ones that go around the island or something like that in Manhattan. Those little couple of hours long. And I just had a feeling. I said, I bet it's a bunch of black folks. And it was. Someone had the video camera, and who do you see fighting? I said, oh my God. And some people just wanted to jump in, and it was a big melee. A big melee. And so it's like, wow. We don't like, we're acting like animals. We're not thinking right. we are triggered. American blacks here, we're triggered to do violence upon other black Americans, and yet you don't like me. You're like, because I want to say I'm American. But yet anybody could come in from another country, come in here, and they can tote their flag, they can honk their horn, right? Right? Yet your ancestry helped build it. I think it's ridiculous. But I understand the sentiment because I used to feel that way. Because I was taught to feel that way. I was taught to feel like a second-class citizen. And then when Trump came in and he expressed himself of things that I, as an individual, was experiencing, I felt heard for the first time. I felt heard for the first time as a person, not as a black lady, not as just as a person. And so yes, I voted for him, and it was the first time in my life that I was happy to vote. I was happy to vote, and I voted for him, and I voted for him the second time also. So, so what does this all mean now? So what about those who? Oh, what was I gonna say? Yeah, I think it's like I I think it's wrong to just throw it away. That your legacy. I feel that you're giving your gold away to these newcomers who didn't go into the trenches like you did. You went into the trenches. You helped build it. Yes, we have what we call the founding fathers. Yes, they were people who were slave owners. That if you're walking around, yeah, and who do you belong to? They could just kidnap you and sell you and enslave you to somebody, right? It was nasty back then. But you know, all those people are gone now. Those people from back then, they're not living anymore. And every piece of land has its own legacy. That was a legacy in the past, but this is now. And you're living in the now. You're not living in the 1700s or the 1600s or even the 1800s. You're living here now. You're living in the United States of America, where you have people from all over the world. You have black Africans who are racing to come to America. I'm sure they heard of the word slavery. They got those on West Africa. They have those slave ports. So I'm sure they've heard of slavery, right? I'm sure they know that they went to the Americas, right? Right? And they're racing to come here. Why would they want to race to come over here knowing that their ancestors were sold as slaves or be mistreated? Because it's so fucking good. It's good about money. Money talks. When you have an empty belly and it's growling, your feet howls even louder. And they trek over here by any means necessary. You have people from Latin America. Again, remember Latin America also been through slavery, right? Who enslaved them? White people. And they're flocking over to America for jobs. Well, you're going to stay here. And you're not going to do anything to help improve your community, but just get depressed and just kill one another. You're killing each other on those cruise ships. It's just awful. No one died on that cruise ship. No one seriously got hurt. But boy, someone was getting pelted real bad. Yeah, you don't know how to relax. You don't know how to enjoy the fruits of your labor. You have people from all over. They're enjoying themselves when they have time off to go to the park to relax with their families. You don't do that. Many city dwellers, you don't do that. You don't just go to the park with your family, have a little picnic or whatever. I know, okay, you're not supposed to say the word picnic, 'cause that comes from this event that used to happen to black people. So whatever you do, have a gathering and eat something nice. You can do that. It's you know, just buy something, it's a sandwich, and you bring your children, just relax. You don't know how to relax. Yeah, why should I have everybody else, people from Jamaica, they could wear their flag, people from Puerto Rico have their flag, people from Cuba, they have their flag, people from Brazil, they have their flag. You have Mexicans, they wear their flag, and all those places had slavery. And all of them were oppressed by white people. And they can have their flag, and they can talk about how wonderful their country is, right? So why can't you, as a black American, do the same thing? Because you can't say it. They're flocking over here, flocking over here. And they know about community, and they hire their own. They hire their own. So, with the red, white, and blue, yes, that year I wore my red, white, and blue. I didn't have a flag. Did I have a flag? No, I don't think I had a flag. But I wore my colors, and I have every right to. Yes, I don't like the things that happened in the past, but the past is the past. It's what you make of it. Obama had every opportunity to make it right for black America, but see, he is a sellout. He is the true sellout, not myself. And so when that YouTuber, uh, she thought I was going to say something nasty about America and the 4th of July. She didn't know that I was going to write what I wrote. I wrote what I did. I said, yes, well, I did, it is controversial, 4th of July, but yes, I sported my red, white, and blue. She had it on for about a second, and she pulled it. And that's why I'm angry. I respect her as a YouTuber. I respect the work she does for within the black community of travel, but I didn't appreciate what she did there. See, that it's like, if you don't sing the song how I sing it, I'm not going to support you. I'm not going to promote you. I wasn't asking to promote me, but everybody else had an opportunity to share their opinion, and she showed it. But when the narrative, when I'm not saying potty mouth about my country, see that she doesn't like, she didn't like that. I didn't know she was like that. I think a lot of, I think that some of us in the community, they know, they can sense what type of person I am with my avatar. They very seldom want to show what I have to say. Very few. Yeah, I'm not just like a robot, and I just don't. I've always been this way. I've always been this way. But yet but to deny me to my voice. That's why I'm angry. She denied my voice by when she didn't. She just said, well, I wrote like, yes, the thing about the 4th, I understand the controversy about the 4th, and then I said about the red, white, and blue. She didn't like that. Oh, Let's remove the narrative. See, they want you to be the angry black lady. They want you to sing that narrative and the nasty American thing. But remember, as I said earlier in this live stream, that you too are perceived as the nasty American who just so happened to be black. So she might go in another country, so I get away from America, this and that. All right. Well, by the way, behind your back, some of them, you too are perceived as that bad American also, regardless of what race you are. And that's how I was treated by this individual when I lived in the U.S. Virgin Islands. That stands for the United States Virgin Islands of the island of St. Thomas. And I took a college class there, and the black professor in the class started to harass me, saying bad things about America. But yes, this St. Thomas is part of the U.S. It is a territory of the U.S. And he singled me out. But the white person sitting right next to me, he didn't bother. See, they kiss ass. That person's a sellout. See, they attack the black person because they're too fucking coward to say to a white person's face, even to a white woman's face, you're fucking coward. That professor, yes, but he's going to attack me. He's going to attack me verbally in front of the whole class. I never forgot that. I didn't know that I would experience that. So yeah, you can talk about that YouTuber, the bad, dirty American, the evil American, but you too, when you go overseas, they're going to include you in that also. So I was surprised. I didn't like what you did. I'm not going to give the name of it because I respect her work. I respect her work overall. But it's like when you're not a part of the hate culture, then you're not liked. Which brings me back from when I was in college. And I was hated by these girls, these black women. There were 3 black women. And they were doing things that they shouldn't have been doing. And they were exploiting me my blackness. They could have gotten somebody else, but they didn't want to do that. And I knew what they were doing, and I didn't like it. And they played dirty when they put poison in my candy. I never reported them. I should have. See, that's being dirty. And see, blacks like that, individuals like that, are dangerous for any community because it shows their true character. Their true character is one of hatred. And we already have a planet full of hateful people. You don't want a hate monger in your community because they will turn against you. I have a right to, if I want to, wear red, white, and blue one day, just like any other ethnic group here in New York City, wearing and sporting their stuff. I have a right to say I am proud of me, and I am proud where I live. If I lived in another country, I'll be proud to be that nationality. If I'm in this other location, I'm proud to be that location. That's where I come from. That's embrace the land that you live in. Embrace the air that you live in. And respect the land and respect the people who live there. That's my religion, so to speak. I think it's fair. So, what's the other thing I'm going to say? A lot of Black America they don't know yet their history. So the other thing that I was aware of with regard to the 4th of July. And no, I'm no expert on history. I'm no expert on Black history, whatever. But I was exposed to, like in the 7th grade, we had to do a class play. It was a social studies teacher. And I felt awkward about it. Because I'm a female. He wanted me to play a male character. I think I'm not a man. Why I so I never had any identity, sexual identity issues. I knew I was female, and I don't want to be some male. But I think I understand now why he did it. Yeah, it was a male Jewish teacher, and he wanted me to play the part of Crispus Attucks. Yep, he wanted me to play that part, and I just had one line in the play. I think the line was, the only way to get the troops is to get the guards. That was my line, and then I suppose I got shot. I was so nervous, but I realized why he had me. We had males in the class. I think he wanted a mixed race looking person for the part. There's no other reason why to have me to play a guy. But I think that's why in hindsight, yeah. So I knew the name Crispus Attucks. And that he was a black man, of a man of mixed heritage. How many black Americans know about Crispus Attucks? Did you know that Crispus Attucks is said to be the first person who died for the what they call the American Revolution, which led to the Declaration of Independence? So you're going to just throw that out the window? The first person, or I think there were a total of 5 people who died that day, but he was one of the first. He's known as the first person who died, who got shot. Let me see on this sheet here. Let me read about him. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see here. Let me see. Bear with me. I have my computer on. Okay. Crispus Attucks. Yeah. You're going to deny your history? You're going to deny the first person who died, who fought for freedom, was a black or mixed race black person, and you're going to deny that and not wear your red, white, and blue? And then you're going to throw Crispus Attucks out the window? You fucking idiot. You're a fucking idiot. Yeah, Crispus Attucks. Oh, he might have even had a little Native American also. I know a lot of us don't like saying that they're a black person, that their grandma was an Indian. So you probably like this, Crispus Attucks, because he probably was mixed with Indian. He lived in a part of town where the so-called Indians lived. And he was obvious, the description, he was a runner, I think, was he runaway or he got, let's read about him. Let me see. Yeah, thank you for giving me a thumbs up. See, this is your history. Crispus Attucks is your fucking history. And you're going to just say, white America is evil. Yes, you have a lot of evil white people here in America who've done horrible things to black people. But you have black people now who are doing horrible things to other black people. So, which one is it? Shit or shellac? You choose your pick. It's all the same. You have evil people on both sides. There's evil out there. Evil. People are evil. They're evil because it's what's in them. It's not their color. We all call them different colors on this planet. And we all have families. Some family members are evil. And you come from the same parents, right? I have every right to wear red, white, and blue if I want to. Yes, I don't like a lot of things that America does. But right now, I live here, and you have a whole bunch of foreigners who want to push it in your face that they are from another place and they're taking your jobs. I don't see any of the foreigners here in New York City living off the street and eating the garbage. Even white people are starting to eat out the garbage can. I've seen this. Okay, Crispus Attucks. Okay, Crispus Attucks' father was likely an enslaved person, and his mother a Natick Indian. N is in Nancy, A, T is in time, I, C is in cat, K. I never heard that name. Nitcat Indian. All that is definitely known about Attucks is that he was the first to fall during the Boston Massacre on March 3rd, 1770. In 1888, the Crispus Attucks Monument was unveiled in Boston Common. How many people know that? That's your history, Black America. And especially those who want to claim Indian, he Indian and Black, okay? So you could at least have him as your hero, because many of you want to deny your history as being someone who was kidnapped and brought all the way over to the Americas and enslaved. So you're lying about my history, where they might have come from, and lying about a lot of other people. See, you're digging your own grave. You're digging yourself into non-existence, and then you wonder why you feel empty inside. You need to go and travel overseas. Go travel. Yeah, America does have a spirit about it, some things that I don't like. There are a lot of things I don't like about here. But right now I am here. And I'm thinking about moving, yes. Just like those other ladies. And then they put a pooping on me because I'm not singing their song. You can still love, just like people might love their family, but they're not good for them. You can have a love-hate relationship on the matter, right? So let's see what else they say about Crispus Attucks. Okay, let's see. Crispus Attucks, U.S. National Park Service. Let's see. Okay, let me click on that. Okay. Okay, so quick facts, African indigenous sailor and the first victim of the Boston Massacre. He was born in Framingham, Massachusetts. His date of birth was around 1723, and he died in Boston, Massachusetts. Let's see. Okay, Granary Burying Ground, that's where he's buried at. Let's see what else. Let me see here. Crispus Attucks, a sailor of mixed African and indigenous ancestry, died in Boston. Okay. After British soldiers fired 2 musket balls into his chest. His death and that of 4 other men, okay, I got it right, 5 other men at the hands of the 29th Regiment became known as the Boston Massacre. Death instantly transformed Attucks from an anonymous sailor into a martyr for a burgeoning revolutionary cause. Hello? He was a so-called free man, Just like you have people who live here now, right? You have people who live in, let's say, right here in New York City. Okay, things might be a little rough with some of us to live here, but I still live here, and some of us get into politics, whatever. That means we shouldn't commemorate. You know, we're still here. It's still your land. It's still here. Some black people during that time were still free on paper. It is what it is. It's still yours. You have to start claiming yours. If you don't feel something is yours, that's when you start to mistreat the things that you live around. You don't feel it's yours, so you put all this graffiti and you throw garbage on the floor because you feel garbage about yourself. I say, hey, maybe this 4th of July, start to have a little pride for your history, your true history. Embrace what you do have. You have yourself. You can clean up your sidewalk. You can clean off the graffiti. See, people who do that is because they feel that it's not theirs. And if it's not yours, destroy it. That's the mentality. And not only do they destroy their property, they also destroy human lives. Your life. And you don't complain about it. You just run and hide, you know, and then worry about what Whitey is doing to you. Yes, I worried about what they do, but it's what you do to yourself that is more problematic. What you do to yourself. What do you do to yourself? You sell drugs to your neighbors. You poo-poo education. And then you don't get involved in the school board. And if you do get involved in the school board, it's just politics and just go to any black community in New York City and see what they usually get a black female, right? They get a black female who just sit on her ass all day and talk to a girlfriend on the phone rather than thinking strategy in getting her community educated to start their own community, to start, you know, strengthening themselves, to try to establish a black Wall Street for them. But she doesn't do that because she's a sellout. She's a fat fucking sellout. That's what a lot of them are. She cares nothing about those black children, but she's only in those positions because maybe she's a sorority sister, and those sorority clubs are really, really for your demise. But they put all their dues, because they have to pay dues every month or yearly, right? But they do nothing for the community. They spy on your community. They spy. And who are they really spying for? They're spying for white people. They make it look like, oh, we got a black, the black, what do you call it, the Greek letters, sporting Greek letters. But who they really spying, they're not there to help the black community. Like Obama, that same mentality. They're there to spy and to excite the community. Remember, Obama called himself what is that, an activist? What's that? Community something. What's that word? What is that word? Organize, that's the word. He calls himself a community organizer. Okay? That means to excite you. To organize, to get you to do what white people, evil white people, want you to do. To control you. But he doesn't want you independent. He doesn't want you independent. He's there to just get, just look at Chicago. What grade would you give Chicago under his leadership? What grade do you give him? I give him a 4F. an F. Okay, what else here about Crispus Attucks? Okay, the life of Crispus Attucks is far less documented than his death. Early coverage and investigations into the details of the massacre refer to Attucks as Michael Johnson. Okay, they have a number two, a footnote. A name he may have used as an intentional alias. After uncovering his name, newspapers published a few details about his life, notably his profession, a sailor, his birth in Framingham, Massachusetts, his current residence of New Providence in the Bahamas, oh wow, and his ship's destination of North Carolina. His last name, Attucks, is of indigenous origin, deriving from the Natick word for deer. Oh, I didn't know that. Witness testimony during the massacre trial interchangeably used mulatto or Indian to describe Attucks, indicating his mixed African and indigenous birth. Okay, mulatto in the U.S. meant black and white. So I never heard mulatto used as there's another terminology when it's an Indian and an African mixture. Okay, the papers does say mulatto. That usually means black and white. But because he lived in a town that had Indians, they assume that he might have been of Indian ancestry. But again, who knows? So again, that could be obscuring real history. Because if his father was, let's see. Well, I can't really say. Let me stop. Okay. Okay, witness testimony during the, wait a minute, I just read that. Indicating his mixed African and indigenous birth. His name reflects the trend in the colonial era of enslavers forcing on an ancient Roman name onto their enslaved people. Attucks shares the name Crispus with the son of Emperor Constantine. He also appears in, okay, goes on and on. Okay. And he was 6'2". You could have him as your hero. That's big in those days. 6'2", it's big now. That's a tall man. We talk about ancestors, you can pray to him. As one of your ancestors, you can have him as your martyr. And you can have a little shrine for him on 4th of July. Why throw all of that away? And this man died, and you go say, oh, I don't recognize that day. That guy, he died. He died for you. See, that some people are hanging up already, you know? See, I speak the truth. See, you have heroes, but you don't want to embrace what you have because you don't love yourself. You have a lot of people in history that you could to focus on as giving you encouragement and strength. I wasn't here back in my ancestors were there in that part of the world at that time. We were in the Caribbean. But I'm born here, raised here, never knew of my ancestry. I just assumed my people from the South. I assumed that. Until I was 18. I was either 18 or approaching 18, and I found out for the first time my background. I was just another black chick. That's how I was raised, just another black chick from a middle-class family. But you guys who are from North America, you have some fantastic people in your history. Yeah, you could do like a little shrine. Oh, I see what time it is now. Let me give a shout out. Yeah, I just noticed the time. It's 3:03 in the morning. In the afternoon. Yeah, 1 year ago today, a family member of mine passed away. He passed away at around 2:18 uh, p.m. Yeah, I just want to give a quick moment of silence for him, for 10 seconds. Yeah, I just wanted to give a moment of silence. Boy, I forgot to look at the time. Yeah, a family member, one of my siblings passed away 1 year ago today. Uh, yes, may you rest in peace. Yeah, yeah, okay. So, wow, his first anniversary of his passing. Wow. So, yeah, going back to addicts, um, you have so much. You have so much to be thankful for. See, they want you to focus on what you don't have. You want to focus on the name, very, very few of them really name calling us. But I hear us name calling one another. I hear us name calling a woman out of her name, calling a woman a B word. These aren't good. These are things that keep you in a low state, a low social state. When you call your own these bad names and do it in public, in front of the world to see, you're showing that you don't love yourself. And so they don't love you either. They don't want to be around you. You have to stop wanting to be around yourself. We all have our past, right? We all have our past. None of us are perfect. But you have a right, you have a choice right now to say, I cannot change the past, but I have a a I'm living now, and what could I do to benefit myself? One thing is to start loving yourself. And you have heroes here. You have him as a hero. So 4th of July, some of us were fighting the cause. Did you know that Black Americans fought in every war and conflict here? You better start claiming it as yours. And work out the details later on. Right? But see, you have the opportunity to work out the details, but you fail to be protective and um, be protective of who comes into your community. Because you have people like Obama who infiltrated your community in Chicago, pretended to be something that he's not. And we all embraced him. I voted for him the first time, and then I wised up. I didn't vote for him the second time. There was no accountability. Start having accountability about who you put in office. To protect yourself. Have value on yourself. Start having it this 4th of July. We're not celebrating oppression, but in the whole thing of the 4th of July with the Boston Massacre, you had people living here of color who fought. And Crispus Attucks gave his life. Do you think he woke up that morning and say, I'm not going to stand, I'm not going to be a part of politics because I'm just a mixed race, I'm on the fringe. No, he said, I'm part of this citizen too. And he's going to, whether he had a lot or a little, he used what he had, and he asserted himself. And unfortunately, he died in the act. And then you want to shovel him in the earth. Very few of you really know about Crispus Attucks. Again, I only know about because my teacher forced me to play the part of Crispus Attucks when I was in the 7th grade. I didn't want to play a guy, I'm a girl. But I did it. And he is a hero. Read about him. He's big and strong. He wasn't a coward. See, now the guys here now are all sissy boys. Go along here in New York City, Midtown area. See all the sissy boys. They have dresses on, and they're out of their mind. Get this 6'2" man who's not afraid to fight. See that? You don't see heroes like that. That's a real man. You need to start touching into your manhood, and you need to start touching in those who are women to tap into your womanhood. You have great heroes here in America. Great heroes that you can have and cherish. You could do your ancestral, what do you call it, your altar. Have a nice altar. And remember those people who helped get you to where you are. But for you to continue this life, you have to be able to pass on the baton. Who are you prepared to pass the baton to? You have to decide for yourself. In the meanwhile, while you're here, claim it as yours, because all these other people are coming in and they're pushing you out of your property. You know, like what I learned in Tanzania, that's in the East Africa, like southern Eastern Africa. You've heard of the Maasai. Some of you have heard of the Maasai. Those real tall, slim people, and you see them jumping up and down. Well, did you know that they're now being chased off their land to make room for a, what do you call it, where you can go and shoot animals dead as a sport? That's what they're doing. My God. Wow. Why did I mention that story? You got to learn how to fight. Because it's going to take what you have. They're taking over their land. They better learn how to fight. My God. Wow, could you imagine? Why, it just popped in my mind, that story. I just heard it this week. That you got, where you gonna go? You can stay here and demand and get leaders to really stand up for you. I think it's really up to the men to act like men and start asserting themselves. But if you don't want to, and I understand that, then maybe to leave in dignity. If you leave in dignity. And if I leave, I speak to myself also. If I decide to leave, I want to leave with dignity. But while I'm here, I want to live in dignity here too. While I'm still here, live in dignity. Respect my body. Respect me. And if I decide to leave America, leave with dignity. And if you have children, teach your children to have dignity in themselves. Have dignity in themselves. Dignity is not history, but yes, you can tap onto your history to encourage yourself. Dignity is what you do in the now. What are you doing to with yourself? How do you dress? How do you carry yourself in public? That's what makes or break a person. When you have people from all over the world and then they see you acting like a buffoon, do you think that's representing you? So what you can't control what you can. how you present yourself in public, how you speak in public, how you treat your spouse, how you treat your children in public. These are all things that you have control over. Why focus on the past when you have a present situation where you can tap on? Tap on to the power of Crispus Attucks. And anyone else. Or even yourself. The things that you've done behind closed doors that help humanity, that help the people in your community. Pat yourself on the back of those things that you've done to help yourself, to help your family, help your neighbors. You make America great when you do those things that help. Yeah, that's right, make America great again. It is a great place. It could be better. Does anyone have any questions for me? Anyone have any questions? I've been on, wow, for 101 minutes. Yeah, Black America doesn't realize all of the people who really, you got a lot of heroes here. Unsung heroes. But we get caught up in the Hollywood melee. See, Hollywood wants you to see the image of the black woman getting raped. That's what they do. What about Latin America? What they call Latin America? All those people. What about Mexicans? What about Brazilians? We all went through the same thing. We just speak different languages. They have their flags. They have their foods that they might celebrate when they come here. We're no different. We're no different. It's okay to have a love-hate. Love what it does do for you. You could have been in some of those countries overseas. There are places they don't have electricity. They got, well, yes, some people don't pay the electric bill, yes. But you be overseas and you don't have electricity and running water. Some places they don't have clean water. No food. Drought. A lot of places, they race over here to come over here. They race. And they're wondering, what's wrong with you? I start looking at other people. I've been in a situation, and some other people I know, it was in a private sector job, not owned by the city. And it was in the mailroom. And it's a mailroom's considered a very entry-level job, but it's a necessity a place like that, the mailroom, at a large corporation. And there they had a lot of immigrants, people of color, a lot of people from the West Indies. And you had this Black American dude there. The Black American dude was wearing very shabby clothes. And then you had these West Indian guys who were really nice, slacks, iron, shoe shine. Because see, in this country, they don't have that. They don't have that structure to the same extent that they have here in the U.S. He's making better money than what he makes in his own country. He's able to send money home, right? He takes his job with dignity, but not the American, because he feels shortchanged. But he should appreciate what he has, because see, if he was in that other country where that guy came from the West Indies, he said, wow, I really got it good in America. Yeah. See, when you know what you're coming out from, you appreciate what you have. Yeah, I think it'd be very healthy for American blacks visit other places, and you say, "Wow, I had it good," and you go back and you take what you do have and you treasure it. You don't. The American didn't realize what he really did have. He could at least take the job, save up money, and maybe he could start, you know, start his own business with something. But he felt that he didn't have. Even when he did have, he poo-pooed. So life couldn't work for him. Don't give up on what you have. What we have is what you have. Utilize what you do have, and it shall grow. It shall grow. Don't give up. And if you feel like giving up here, then you move somewhere else. But move with dignity. Yeah. Yeah, so that's wow. Yeah, I felt I needed to do this. I didn't like what that YouTuber did. Again, I respect her work. Her work is excellent, but don't mistreat uh, don't mistreat other people, other blacks who may feel a certain way. Yes, I am a veteran, and most likely you're not. I am a veteran, and I served my country. We can look at the narrative of the bad white man who raped your ancestors, right? You can feed that narrative, or you can say, I come out from a legacy of people like Crispus Attucks, who's willing to fight to protect what little he had, and teach his family about honor and dignity of yourself. I think that is something positive. It's something positive. Don't be like the black American man who, what he did have, he threw away. And he had the West Indian guy, had the same, probably making the same amount, and he treasured what he had, and it grew. So then maybe we could open up a roti shop, right? A bake shop, right? It's something. And then you nurture it. Start nurturing yourself. You have all the tools. And I say that to myself, I have all the tools. I have to learn how to use it. Learn how to use what you have. Boy, I needed to say that. I needed to say that for myself too. Learn to use what you have, and it shall grow. Boy, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you enjoyed this live stream. Yeah, I don't think anyone said anything. Yeah, no, everybody's being quiet. But that's okay too. That's okay. Um, I hope you enjoyed this live stream. And those of you who like this content or like my boldness, yeah, it's to speak out, yeah, you may wish to support this channel, and you can PayPal me. To do so, just click on my channel, Spirit Journey, and on the banner's right-hand side, you will see my PayPal me link. Just click on the link, follow the prompts, and any amount would be greatly appreciated, and I'm appreciating you in advance. Thank you again. Thank you for coming aboard, watching this live stream this July 2. And yes, another word out for my my family member who passed away 1 year ago today. He passed away at 2:18 p.m. 2:18 in the afternoon. Peace and love to you, my dear brother. Yes, peace and love to all of you here. People who lost members living here in America. People who suffered under horrific stuff. May your legacy of love prevail, okay? Thank you again. Peace, love, and joy. Until next time soon. I think I'll make some popcorn now. Yeah. Thank you again. Bye bye.